Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the September 4th, 2025 North Hills School Board Committee meeting with action to order. Please rise for a moment of silence and salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Prior to this evening's meeting, the board met in executive session to discuss personnel and legal matters. Tonight's meeting is being recorded and broadcast live on North Hills School District's YouTube page. Images may also be posted on district social media. So as we begin the school year, I wanted to address a topic. We are aware that there's conversation about cell phone use in schools. Some brief background. There is no current Pennsylvania state law mandating bell-to-bell phone policies across all schools, but lawmakers are actively working to explore legislation to prohibit cell phone usage during the school day. Some districts have voluntarily adopted these policies. We currently do not have a district policy on cell phones. Cell phones and electronics are covered in the student handbooks, which are documents that are approved by the board. While there are an array of opinions on this topic, and it may ultimately be fleshed out on a legislative level, we would like to make clear that cell phones, AirPods, and the like should not be used in classroom without the express educational permission from the teacher. Exceptions are to be made for accommodations as outlined in 504 plans and IEPs for individual students who may have a medical need or a disability accommodation. We expect teachers to be supported in this by the building principals and supported by the district as a whole. We also expect students to follow the classroom rules and expectations regarding electronics as outlined by their teachers. We have these expectations with the intention of having the best educational environment possible for students. Are there any other board member comments this evening?
I just wanted to thank everybody that came out, I guess 2 weeks ago now, to the Stuff-A-Bus event. We really appreciated the block hosting us, and it was great to see so many people, former employees of the district, former students of the district, showing up to support our students and making sure everybody had school supplies. So it was really exciting to have a foundation event out there and get our name out there and continue the work.
Thank you. Any additional comments? Okay, Dr. Manarino, you are up with the superintendent's report.
Thank you. We've had a really good start to the school year. So as we move forward here, it's September and we're talking about the emergency alert system that helps us with 2-hour delays and cancellations. So why not? First part of school, first announcement of the year is about cancellations and 2-hour delays. So when we get to Wednesday, September 17th, starting at 7 o'clock, you will get a notification through our alert system. You will get a text message. So just to make sure that you are in the system, if you've received that text message in the past and you've already said that you would accept messages from this number, there's nothing more that you need to do. If you get that number 67587 and you've not opted in the past, you have to opt in order to receive future text messages. But this is pretty important because this is how we communicate those types of things with emergencies. School cancellations, whether it be for weather or anything else that we might have to cancel school for. So it's important that you get into this system so that you can get up-to-date notifications immediately to your cell phones. Okay, what do you do from here? Check your numbers that are on file in PowerSchool. That's an important part of this. So you can go to forms, student contact information. Make sure the information is correct in PowerSchool. If it's not correct or you did not receive the text, there is a link that you can submit a ticket to so we can troubleshoot to make sure that you are ready to go with all the correct information in our current communication system. So that's coming up here on September 17th. And then it's really nice that I get to introduce our 2 student representatives for the year. So if Faith and Jane would please come up here. Faith is with us again this year. Faith is our senior representative. And Jane is new to us this year with a junior in the class of 2027. And I thought it might be nice if the 2 of you could just introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourselves. And we welcome you to the district.
Thank you. Like he said, I'm Faith. I'm a senior this year at the high school. Some of the things I'm involved in, I'm a stage manager for the musical. I'm the vice president of the senior class, and I'm also a officer for a German club. I love doing the school board because in college I'm hoping to pursue economics and then maybe law school.
Hi, thank you guys. Hello everyone, my name is Jane Malarski. I'm honored to serve here as a student representative this year. I'm currently a junior here at North Hills High School, and I'm involved in travel volleyball, dance, flag football, Hands for Service, and the SoFab Club. I'm really excited to do this because it's very meaningful to me because my grandfather actually was on the board as well in 1987 to 1997, and he was actually the president for 1 to 2 years too. So I'm very excited for this opportunity. Thank you.
It's very nice to meet you, Jane, and thank you both for your service.
At this time, we have a special presentation that Allie Mathis is going to present tonight. So Allie, as PSBA president, would you like to come up?
Hello. Mrs. Spade, will you come up here, please? I'm here on behalf of PSBA, the Pennsylvania School Board Association, to honor Mrs. Spade for her 10th year of service on the school board, serving as an elected official on the board. And I wrote down what I wanted to say because I wanted to make sure I got it right, Dee. Dee Spade is a North Hills treasure. It's been an honor to serve with Mrs. Spade. I have learned so much from her, and I continue to learn every day. Don't cry. She's not only a committed public servant, but she's a very special friend and person in my life. And I thank her for her service on behalf of PSBA, and I would like to present you with this certificate and a North Hills pen.
Mrs. Best Thank you. And I've loved every minute of it. Thank you.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you. This is the best board in the world, and it is definitely the best school. So thank you all.
Okay, it doesn't look like anybody has signed up for any public comments this evening, so we will then move on to buildings and grounds. Mr. Santucci, do you have any updates?
I do not have any updates as far as building and grounds are concerned. There was just one item that I did want to bring mention to. Over the summer, there was a storage shed that was placed behind the senior high school, and on the high school open house, I got to speak with Mr. Pat Carey, who is ecstatic about being able to have storage. So the pool deck was much cleaner, and all of his canoes and kayaks and things of that nature are tucked away safely, and then they can bring them out as they need them. So that's about it as far as building and grounds is concerned.
Thank you, Mr. Santucci. Mrs. Neese, you are up with Community and Intergovernmental Relations.
Okay, I also don't really have any updates right now, but we do have a presentation this evening from Mr. Lyons, the Director of Student and Community Engagement.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to speak about, it's been about a year since I've been on the job here with the Director of Student and Community Engagement, and just talking with folks, it's been a blur in a good way, and there's been a lot happening in a short amount of time. So I'd like to share the highlights from last year and also some things that are going to be coming on the horizon this school year. So I lead with this because this is what we do. This is why we're here in the district. We prepare our students for life after high school, life after, right? So this is what we do, and this is an important reminder. Academically, socially, emotionally, all of that encompasses the students as we prepare them, providing them with opportunities. So this is something that is near and dear to my heart. Everybody deserves to be Come here, feel welcomed. Everyone deserves to have an equitable opportunity to live, work, play, learn, teach, and serve in this community. And it's not about me. A lot of what's going on, I am a person in this seat, but this is who it's about. It's students. My title is Director of Student and Community Engagement. And so students first. And some of the things that over the past year, I just want to speak a little bit about. These are 3 groups or 4 groups that I have worked with. We have a SALT team. The SALT team is our student athlete leadership team. Anytime you add salt to things, right, it adds flavor. And so that's why we chose the SALT team, adding flavor. So it's beyond the athletics. It's beyond that too. It's in the buildings. So they enhance the overall athletic experience, but not just on the field, it's off the field as well. Diversity clubs. The high school has had a diversity club for the past several years, and I ended up being able to get into the role as a sponsor. It wasn't even part of the plan. It just happened, and I believe it happened for a reason. So the high school has really grown. Today we had our biggest meeting with almost 20 students at the Diversity Club meeting. That just not just stopped, it did not just stop at the high school, the middle school. Last January, we embarked on the middle school Diversity Club. And I can say now, I've had some teachers come alongside and say, hey, we want to support this as well. So it's nice to see it's not just the students, the teachers are also wanting to support and be a part. Even at the high school, we had another teacher come alongside me. So it's not me solo, it's me with those kids, and they have other people to bounce ideas and suggestions and ideas off of. Peer mentor program. This started from a cafeteria conversation at Westview. Literally, I was in the cafeteria talking to one of the 3rd grade teachers, and she said, hey, do you have mentors? We have some students who could use some mentorship. And I said, let me look into that. And lo and behold, we already had a student athlete mentor group, and the gentleman that was running that at the Crisis Center North said, I've been wanting to do an elementary group. And I'm like, let's go, let's do it. So we've been doing it, and we look to expand upon that this coming year. Stand Together Club. High schools had a Stand Together Club for quite a bit. The middle school, why not? Why not the middle school? So 2 teachers said, hey, let's do it here. We're going to do something here. So I work with the organization that oversees the Stand Together clubs and said, hey, we want to do something at the middle school. And now we have a middle school Stand Together Club. It's something that's needed. The mental health, Stand Together combats the mental health stigma, so that's something that's very important for students. Teacher support and collaboration. So I talked about a little bit the teachers at the high school and middle school coming alongside me and the students. A lot of what I've been doing too is going in the classrooms and doing presentations as well. Lessons at the elementary schools. I've been in every single building, and not just me, the student leaders, and you're going to see pictures and different things coming up shortly. But the students have been going in alongside me as well, and really leading it, and I'm kind of guiding things, but they leading it, reading books, singing with the students, just being there. The SALT team wants to even do something with them in PE this year, so we're just looking at opportunities to expand those connections within the district. And then also collaboration with clubs, counselors, and students and other teacher groups. So it's not about it's us together. It can't be a one person alone. We can't do this alone. We got to do this as a community all together. Elementary connections. I talked about that a little bit, but I did some do no harm lessons at the Westview and Highcliffe. Our SALT athletes went down to the first and elementary. Every school in 1st and 2nd grade had the SALT team come down to read to them. I talked about the Westview Peer Mentor Program, and then just going down and doing readings and lessons to the grade levels. I even did one at the middle school with they have a student group that I did one with last fall as well. So just looking at getting a message out, providing creating a welcoming, supportive, safe environment where everyone feels like, hey, North Hills, this is where I should be. This is where I belong. Some partnerships. We've been designated as a United Way school district. And that's for our work giving back to the community, not just the United Way, but the work that the high school, specifically a lot of the groups at the high school and even the middle school, they give back. They do turkey drives. We have Night Around the World. We have the Hilltop Holiday. Like all of that giving back, kicking it for kids. We were designated as one of the United Way champion districts. And then the partnerships beyond North Hills, South Fayette, Woodland Hills, Gateway, Seneca Valley, building partnerships and collaborative efforts with those school districts. We compete so much on the athletic field. I always say this, I'm a sports guy. We compete so much on the athletic field. We don't need to compete with this other stuff, the human element of things. Why are we competing? And so we've partnered. We were like, hey, our student group, let's work with your student group. I was just on the phone this afternoon with Dr. Herring from South Fayette, just talking about different ways that we can collaborate, work together, prepare our kids for the future. The Light Initiative is a humanitarian effort. They actually said, hey, we want to give you a free field trip between the months of October and April. They're going to give us a free field trip for student leaders to go on. We have an Eradicate Hate conference we're going to, and we can only take 10 students. And I said, hey, I have a dilemma here. I have students that want to go to these leadership opportunities. The one in charge of it said, hey, I have a solution. I can't get you more seats at the Eradicate Hate conference, but I can get you some field trips that are going to be free of charge for your student leaders. So let's do it. Let's make that happen. And so just those connections and partnerships is very vital. Westview Hub and also our Westview Hub, North Hills Cares. And last year we did a tour drive with the Westview and Ross Police, and we want to have a more hands-on into that. We kind of found out about it later, but we want to do some things on the forefront of it as well with some of those student groups. So our Culture and Climate Council meetings, they're every other month, and we aspire to SOAR. SOAR is our strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and results. Our 6 building leaders, they report out. I report out. But I'm going to tell you the key element to this is when the students report out. They come, I feel alone right now because usually I have students alongside me. I feel really like I need some students over here. We have some student representatives here. I need some students. But the students really, they bring it home because they own it. They live it. They breathe it. And so just looking at how to get those students, more students, opportunities. So I was thinking, I'm saying, well, what can we do? So I'm like, let's make a group that's not, because a lot of the efforts was coming from the Diversity Club. But now, this is not just Diversity Club. This is other groups and other people that want to be a part. So we had a creation of a community, a student community advisory board. It's students, and these students are coming from all different clubs. We have some different ones from clubs and different activities. The teachers nominated them at the end of the school year in May. I said, hey, here's what I'm looking to do, and the high school teachers gave me names of leaders, some that were already in leadership positions, but some that just needed a little something else. And we had our first meeting on Tuesday just talking about different things about the school, the high school, just their school experience in general. And so we're just looking at, again, equipping the leaders for the future because they are our future. And so looking into this year, and the first item already occurred, but Dr. Sheffield, he's one of our, he sits on the Climate and Culture Council. He conducted, along with our middle school and high school students and myself, we did a PD with our teachers, K-12, excellence, cultural competency, and do no harm. And it was a great opportunity to engage with the teachers. And the students were also able to have an opportunity as well to share from their lands, from their perspectives. Start with Hello Week is coming. That is from the Sandy Hook Promise. We all may remember the Sandy Hook tragedy that happened, but the Start with Hello is an opportunity for our clubs. So we have other clubs getting involved in this. So it's not a diversity club. We have our student ambassadors at the high school are getting involved and doing various activities. Positivity Club is going to be doing an activity. We have a Do No Harm Week coming up in October, 13th to the 17th. So these are opportunities to continue the message, to continue the impact that has already started, and we just want to just keep things going and going and going. I talked about field trip opportunities. Those are other ways to get students out, get them out of the four walls of the high school or even the middle school, because there's opportunities I'm looking for some of our younger folks as well, even at the middle school level, looking at how we can engage with other schools, other students, and just learn from one another, grow from one another. And really steal ideas, because that's what it is. It's taking their ideas and making it North Hills, or taking an idea and someone's making it their way. But we're just sharing that out with one another. And then expanding the family and community engagement opportunities. Dr. Herring from South Fayette talked to me about an app that he's been looking at. He's been using at South Fayette that helps with our ELL family. So that's something, and that wasn't even part of my conversation with him today, but he brought it up, and I'm like, whoa, we have a population here. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it's something that we could, potentially look to use here at North Hills as well. And lastly, I want to end, and I have some pictures on the last slide, but at North Hills, we do no harm. That's been the overarching message. Do no harm is the umbrella. I wish I had the picture that Brenly Weisicle drew. She's a very, very artistic young lady, but she drew a picture of the Do No Harm with an umbrella and all these raindrops coming from it with different clubs, groups, and people that are underneath that Do No Harm umbrella. The Do No Harm umbrella is a North Hills umbrella. This is Do No Harm. Do No Harm is what we do. And so that messaging has now also, the opening statement, tomorrow night's football game will have a little small insert of Do No Harm in there as we're talking about the sportsmanship. So we're looking at ways, and that idea came from the SALT team. The SALT team wanted that. They said, hey, this isn't a Lamont or Mr. Lyons or Pat Weber, because he and I both co-lead the SALT team. This isn't our idea. That was their idea. And so we were like, okay, that's a little small change. It's not really a change. It's already something we currently have, and let's just embed that. And so just aligning it to our culture and climate goals, the Do No Harm message is what we do, who we are. And a couple highlights the last three bullets. These are three exciting opportunities. The first one is the Eradicate Hate Global Summit. It's on September 15th at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. And so it's the world's largest convening of anti-hate. It's an anti-hate conference. And there are world leaders in this room. Outside of education, business, scientists. I mean, you name it, it's there. They're there. And so we are one of 5 schools that are going to be represented on this panel. One of our students, Janai Cassell, will be one of the panelists on this panel. On the main stage. The Student Summit used to be in a different room. It's on the main stage now. And so they're going to be in front of not only other students, but these other world leaders, and hearing about what's happening here at North Hills. So I thought that was an opportunity we were definitely not going to turn down. And Janaya and Brenly literally rock, paper, scissors, because they're the co-chairs of the Diversity Club, and they rock, paper, scissors who was going to speak. And fortunately, however, they were both going to ready to do it, but Janaya is glad to do it. The second one is the WIPIAL Sportsmanship Summit. Every fall, the WIPIAL Sportsmanship, all the teams from the WIPIAL get together and talk about sportsmanship. These are all the teams, single way all the way up to 6A are there. Athletic directors, students, they're their coaches. They are there in this room. I had the opportunity to go last year for my first time. But we got an invite from our SALT team, the SALT leaders, to share their efforts with Do No Harm, their efforts with collaboration. So they're going to share what's happening with the Do No Harm through the athletic lens, the sportsmanship lens, on November 5th. So that's another opportunity for these student leaders to share what's happening. And lastly, our students will, there's a 7th annual Woodland Hills Student Summit. We have some student leaders who are going to lead some sessions there. All the schools that participate send some student leaders. They work together on the session that they're going to share and lead, and they're going to lead it. So there's 2 opportunities. They're going to get together, collaborate, and then on the 13th of March, they are going to present to other students from other schools. So I'm able to take leaders from North Hills, and also I'm going to take a group of students who are just going to be there in attendance. So this is another opportunity to get these students out and just to grow them. And so I said students a lot because students have led this. Students have led the charge. And I'll end with this last slide. That's our students. This is North Hills. I had hundreds of pictures. I have hundreds of pictures, and it's so hard to find certain pictures. The one on the top left is from this summer. Who meets? What kids meet in the summer? Not many, but these kids did. We went to Gateway High School with a group of students, and they had a group of students, and we collaborated there. The AIU's Director of Strategic Partnerships and Culture, he's the gentleman in the front. He was there in attendance as well. That's our student-athlete leadership team, our SALT team, reading to our elementary students. This is our peer mentors, that third picture on the top. They're our peer mentors that were at Gateway, or at Westview. They're presenting. The next one is, I believe I think that's Highcliffe. That's Highcliffe, right? And that's Unity Day. Down at the bottom is the Do No Harm at the middle school. In the middle, the Eradicate Hate reconvening. And lastly, the Uncommon Conference at South Fayette. So the kids are on the move. The kids are doing some great things. And I have the fortunate opportunity to just be there and to help steer and guide them. So that's all I got. I thank you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lyons.
Any questions?
Any questions from the board?
No, I just always have to give a shameless plug to AIU. I appreciate you working with Mr. Jones up there in the top left corner, so appreciate that.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Lyons. Mrs. Neese, back to you.
Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is the board is going to select the PSBA officer candidates and candidates for the position of trustee for the PSBA Insurance Trust for whom they wish to cast their collective ballot. Some relevant facts. The North Hills School Board may cast 1 collective ballot. The board members must vote in public for the candidates that they want to be on their collective ballot. The board secretary is then authorized to submit this ballot on behalf of the board, and the ballot must be submitted to PSBA no later than 5 p.m. on October 15th, 2025. There is 1 candidate for the office of the 2026 President-elect, Holly Arnold. There is 1 candidate for the office of 2026 Vice President, Matt Vinoy. There's 1 candidate for the office of the 2026 to 2028 Central Zone Representative, Jolie Preston. There are 2 candidates for the office of 2026-2027 Section W3 Advisor, Antonio Paris and Eric Meredith. And then there are 2 candidates for 2 positions for the office of PSBA Insurance Trustee, Kathy Swope and Roberta Marcus. And then the next thing, what's going on here? Where am I at here? The board needs to approve the MOU with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Greater Pittsburgh Memorandum of Understanding with Highcliffe Elementary. Highcliffe Elementary School is requesting approval of the attached MOU with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Pittsburgh to participate in the site-based mentoring program called Bigs in Blue. If approved, officers from Ross Township will mentor individual students for 1 hour every other Wednesday beginning at the end of October. The program is designed to improve the participating students' social-emotional skills, sense of belonging, sense of future, and avoidance of risky behaviors. Mentors and their assigned students will discuss topics such as friendship and appropriate interaction with peers and adults. The school will select the students and facilitate communication with parents, guardians about the program, as well as request permission for the students to participate. If additional officers are needed as mentors, BBBSPGH will seek volunteers from the PA State Police and/or Allegheny County Police. Some other important information, Highcliffe and the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Pittsburgh agree that each party shall pay its own fees, costs, and expenses of those of its agents, independent contractors, consultants in connection with this MOU. So, I move that items 3 and 4 under Community and Intergovernmental Relations be added to the legislative meeting agenda.
D. Spade, I'll second that.
Mrs. Spade, you're so fast today. Thank you.
I'm awake.
Just as a point of discussion for the slate of candidates for PSBA, we'll need to choose which candidate for the Section W3 advisor that we'd like to move forward on the next agenda. As far as the other candidates, Holly, Matt, and Julie, I can personally vouch for them. They're excellent board members, and I'm sure they will continue to serve in a great capacity. And Kathy and Roberta, too, are fantastic on the trust. I don't know either of the candidates for Section W3 advisor personally, but I can, if anybody wants some additional context, I can say that Eric Meredith has served as the W3 advisor. He's the current advisor, and has done a fine job.
Is it, Madam President, just a quick point. I actually served with Mr. Paris, who's also running down at the Allegheny Intermediate Unit's Board of Directors. I can say I've served in that capacity with him for well over a year now, and he's been a wealth of knowledge, always willing to work with folks and bring ideas to the table. So I'm sure the other candidate is perfectly fine. I just can only personally speak for Antonio and saying I'm sure he'd be a fine candidate as well.
Sure. And there were videos attached with their introductions on the PSBA website, if anybody had a chance to review them.
Just a point of what exactly so are we going to vote on who the,
We'll need to discuss and decide who we would like to move forward for the Section W3 advisor
And that would
for
be
the
the-
next meeting
so
for us
that's
to
the
vote on.
motion is,
Yeah.
okay.
So, does anybody else have any comments or feedback on the PSBA positions or preferences or feelings that they want to share? Thoughts? Opinions?
And is either candidate endorsed by the PSBA?
No, that makes this particularly tricky. Neither candidate was endorsed by the PSBA nominating committee. I was not on the nominating committee this year. The president does not sit on the nominating committee, so I did not personally witness the interviews. The candidates that have an asterisk next to them for the other positions are endorsed by PSBA. To be totally honest, I don't have any particularly strong feelings about this. Mr. Meredith has sent out updates and done his job as the Section W3 advisor, but if Mr. Little, works with Mr. Paris and knows of him and wants to vouch for him, I'm also fine with that personally.
So how does this work then? Do we just go down the line and say who we would vote for? Because I read about some of
Yeah.
them myself. I don't want to say I have like a strong opinion, but I had decided who,
Sure.
like if we were going to take a
Yeah.
vote, like I don't know.
No,
what we
yeah,
do.
I would like to know, like, collectively, like, who people would want to vote for. If you're willing to share that, then we can decide whoever has the most would be moved forward.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Do you want me to start?
Sure, yeah, it was your idea.
All right, well, my pick. I liked what I read about Eric, and it seemed like he did a good job, so that would be who I would pick.
Go ahead. Just go ahead down the line, if you want.
Antonio Paris.
Eric Meredith.
Eric Meredith.
Eric Meredith.
Eric Meredith.
Eric Meredith?
Mr. Paris?
So it looks like the majority of the board would want to move Mr. Meredith forward. So that's what we could vote on to add to the next agenda. Is there any other discussion on any of these topics? Well, Elizabeth made a motion for items 3 and 4 already. Yeah, so, Mr. Little?
I think what you're saying, Mrs.
Yeah,
President,
my question was, there's another candidate.
There's another contested race.
No?
No.
Gotcha. Two candidates,
for
two
two
positions.
positions,
Gotcha.
yes.
We don't
Yeah,
have to vote. I
No.
got you.
It needs to be both, Mrs.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
I read about both of them. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Neese. For education, I just have a brief update that the liaisons will be meeting on Monday, September 8th, and then the math task force will be convening again for their first meeting of the year on Monday, September 8th as well. And I got some news today that I was excited to hear that we have full coverage for math support at the high school now, every period. So that's great news and an important update. So thank you to all who were involved in getting that schedule straightened out. I have two items tonight for consideration. The first is a request for the board to approve the memorandum of understanding between Crisis Center North and North Hills School District, effective for the 2025-2026 school year. Crisis Center North will manage and provide school-based counseling services for North Hills students involved directly and indirectly with dating or domestic violence. And they provide prevention education programs delivered through the following programs: challenging athletes to become lifelong leaders, coaching boys into men, developing healthy relationships with others and ourselves, with ourselves and others, and peer-to-peer empowerment. There's a $2,500 annual fee for these services. And the second is a request for the board to approve the memorandum of understanding between Diversified Care Management and North Hills School District, effective for the 2025-2026 school years. North Hills SAP counselors agree to serve as the Stand Together program advisors for the 25-26 school year. Stand Together is a student-led initiative designed to combat the stigma surrounding mental health and substance use by promoting positive, healthy relationships in their school communities. I move that items 2 and 3 be added to the legislative meeting agenda. Is there a second?
D. Spade, I will second that.
Thank you, Mrs. Spade. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Little, do you have anything under athletics and activities?
Just one announcement, Madam President. This weekend is one of the most popular programs at Martorelli Stadium, and that would be Soccer Fest on Saturday, the 6th. It is free admission. It starts at 9 o'clock, starting with the North Hills Middle School Red versus Shaler, and there's several matches in between, going all the way till 7:30, which will have the North Hills Boys Varsity versus Deer Lakes. So again, it's free admission. People come on out. It's a big day full of soccer, and we'd love to have you there.
Sounds great. Thank you. Mrs. Elwood, you're up with finance.
Hi, yes. No report this evening, but I do have a couple items for consideration to move to the legislative meeting agenda. They are the general fund bills, the capital project fund bills, food service fund bills, and payroll for the month of August 2025. With that, I move that items 2 through 5 under the finance be added to the legislative meeting agenda.
Is there a second?
D. Spade, I will second that.
Thank you, Mrs. Spade. Any discussion? Okay, then we can go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
I will be abstaining from check number 80047 for business reasons.
I will also be abstaining from check number 80047.
Thank you. Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Mrs. Stevens, do you have any health and wellness updates for us this evening?
Yes, you'll be happy to know that the SOUP program has resumed and will be expanding later in September. In addition, what was formerly known as the coffee shop is now the Hilltop Cafe, and later this month will be open every day during lunch, serving soup, salad, and other good options.
That is so exciting. We should take a board field trip there one day and get some
Yes.
soup for lunch. Thank you very much. Mrs. Spade, it's your turn with personnel.
Thank you. Personnel items are discussed in executive session. The superintendent recommends, and I so move that the board approves item 1 through 4.
Is there a second?
Mike Santucci, I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and I'm very pleased to announce that with that last action, the North Hills School District Board of Education has just voted to extend Dr. Manarino's contract, retaining him as superintendent of the district through 2029. Dr. Manarino has been with the district for more than 20 years, and he has been superintendent since 2012. Dr. Manarino, the board is thrilled to be securing your future at North Hills. I've had the pleasure of working with you for many years, and I can personally attest to your passion for education, your integrity, vision, adaptability, empathy, energy, and more than anything, your desire to do what is in the best interest of students. We are very lucky to have you, and we're excited to see what we can accomplish in the next several years together. So thank you.
And I don't have to second that, but I will.
Thank you.
Oh, you're,
Thank you. Thank you for the support, the continued opportunity. And I'm forever grateful. So thank you.
would you like a pen?
Yes.
I've made two people cry tonight. I think that's a record. No, we're thrilled that you'll be staying with us through 2029, and your impact on the district is immeasurable, so thank you. Ms. Kozera, are you planning to cry when we discuss policies?
Only tears of happiness and
Okay.
joy.
I'll hand it over to you then.
So tonight we have the second reading for a new policy 827, conflicts of interest. This was, there were no, we discussed this at a past meeting, so I'm not going to get into it again, but we had no comments or feedback from the public or anything on this, so I think that's it. The superintendent recommends, and I so move, that the board approve policy item 2.
Is there a second?
D. Spade, I will second that.
Thank you, Mrs. Spade. Any discussion? Okay, then we will move to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Kozera. Mrs. Rennebeck, do you have any updates on Beatty this evening?
Just a quick announcement that October 13th, there's an open house at Beatty at 5:15. I know that we still have a little bit of time, and I'll probably mention it again, but just wanted to get it on calendars.
Thank you very much. With no further business, I will announce that the next meeting of the Board of Education will be Thursday, September 18th, here in the North Hills Middle School LGI room at 6:15 p.m., and I will move to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, everybody.